service centers, but now it happens in showrooms and in Superroof in South Africa and so forth. So it changes our interaction with customers quite a lot. And I believe, and we believe, all of us, that that can be a game changer when it comes to competitive advantage going forward, because our competition does not have that. And it's all about service and availability of products at those points. Okay, so let's hear from Anthony from a marketing that I will acknowledge for a good work to make this event happen. So how do you see this from your perspective?
Thank you, Anders. I think for all of us today, wherever you are, if you walk out with only two things from today's event, number one is the customer is the boss. Remember that the customer is the boss. That is the person that we come to serve every single day whenever we come to work. Number two is this is a movement we are starting. And we want every single person in the group to join this movement. Because, as Jackie said, if everybody remembers that delighting the customer is their responsibility, right? If it's Washira in IT, if our systems are not up to scratch at any point in time and a customer has to wait for processing or for whatever reason, we are not delighting the customer. If it's Tirok in finance or Julaine in South Africa in finance, if a customer has to wait for a credit note for too long, then that customer is not delighted. If somebody has to wait for a claim for too long, they're not delighted. If they can't find our product, they're not delighted. So every single one of us, even the guy at the gate, the person who opens the gate to let in the customer, they have to know that their job is not to open the gate. Their job is to let in that customer in the best way possible, because that person is bringing us shillings and dollars that keep us going. So the customer is the boss, and this is a movement, and every single one of us, we must join hands to make this happen. I like stories, and I'll tell you one or two. So we've been going around the different markets, and the one thing that we have is our brands are very strong. So whether it's a corporate brand, if you talk about MREM or MRM, if you talk about Alaf, if you talk about Safintra, we were in Maputo last week. And despite the fact that we haven't been as strong as we were in the past in Maputo, our customers there still remember the brand. In Zambia, where we've not been for quite some time, we're just about to open. The customers are looking forward because they look for Safintra material because our brands are very good. The same thing here yesterday when we went to the showroom. We found somebody buying, they were buying Max cover. And the gentleman told us, I've gone everywhere, but the word on the street is, you guys have the best product. It's expensive, right? It's expensive, but it's good product. So he said he's gone everywhere. He's gotten quotations from everybody. But he came over here and he was buying our product. So that's one strength we have, right? So we have to remember that we've got good brands, but as Anders said, the game has changed. Everybody's raising the game. And for us, we've been doing, since 2021, we've been externally focused, speaking to the customers. And they have told us that we have the various challenges that we have that we need to sort out. They say, you guys, your product, tip-top. Everywhere in the country we go, your product is great. However, there are things that we need to improve, and hence why us starting this movement to make sure that we're delivering on delighting the customer becomes extremely important.
Thank you. Thank you, Anthony. You know something interesting? You might actually think that the money you get in your salary envelope actually comes from MRM. It doesn't. It comes from the customer. Where do the money come from that flows into this company? It all comes from our customers. If that money stopped to flow, there will be no salary envelopes any longer.
Organizing a conference. Huh?
But we make it flow, so don't worry about that. But we just have to recognize that the money that comes into this company comes from customers, which makes customer the king. So what we now have done, we have gone out and we have asked our business heads also to comment, similar to what we've done on stage here, how they see it, to get a little bit of perspective of not only listen to us here, but also listen to some others. We have split this in two parts. We listen to one part, then we will have a few comments from here, and then we take the second part. It's a little bit long, but I think it's very important that we hear from the different geographies, from our different business